Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem HaRakah the bonus to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and Shalom to all the brothers doing the work of sharing truth. Um, Saw this article on the Mail, and it's in line with, it's kind of like, what they call it, Universal, UBI, Universal, well, I can't even remember what it stands for, but the basically just the month when you'll get like monthly payments, just essentially for partaking it, in the system, which they've been trying it in a few of the Scandinavian countries. I know they did it in Canada. I think they did it in one or two states in the US, where they'll basically just pay people, just give people money, just cause. And they're trying to do studies to see if it made people if it so-called benefited society. But now they're doing it for kids, for people getting pregnant, which isn't really a surprise because for a hot minute you've had like the births going down, fertility rates going down, and it's like in the US, in most pretty much all the Western countries, like the so-called developed Western countries, and the places that have taken up with the beast system, that are running with that same system, that same mindset of what's it called, of the West. They're seeing it go down because why? Because they've got women's lib. Women have basically been allowed to take on roles other than the womanly role that they've been crafted for, and that just then everything else that kind of surrounds it crumbles, because now that core family unit that's like the bedrock of society has been it's toast. So it says Philadelphia will pay women to get pregnant. Expectant mothers will be entitled to $1,000 a month with no strings attached amid falling fertility rates and rising baby deaths. And it says no strings attached. But the thing with these programs is that basically binds you into the system. So when they switch over to, that bit, the rice grain, the kuragma, then you'll have for you to continue, to partake, to get these payments. And it's like that already with, here we got the universal credit system, where it's like, if you want to get housing benefit, if you want to get job seekers or whatever, all these things have been rolled into one. And I think it's included in there as like disability payments and things like that. These things will disability payments, they'll basically let you all count it in one. So this is what pregnant women in Philadelphia will be paid $1,000 a month as part of a trial program hoping to lower infant mortality rates in the city. Starting next year, 250 expectant mothers will receive the no strings attached payments from their third month of pregnancy through their baby's first birthday. The pilot program, known as the Philly Joy Bank, will operate in the areas of the city with the highest rates of low births: Cobb Street, Strawberry Mansion, and Nicetown, Tioga. It's funny as well because it's with like the birth rates, it's found that it's like people that are well off, well, let's say well off women are not getting pregnant nearly as much as poorer women. Because why? They're thinking, oh, they'll freeze their eggs, they'll basically be progressing in their career, they'll be aspiring towards a certain lifestyle, and they're less going to be focused on that motherly role, which means that it's funny, the paying $1,000 might not even mean anything, because if they're already fucking they're living plush, they ain't gonna give a fuck. And bitches in the hood be having kids anyway to get checks and shit. Like it's already a mess. So it says the scheme also comes amid a baby bust across America that is seeing fewer women than ever having children amid changing family values. Yeah, because also that Alphabet Gang goes into that as well. says announcing the scheme at a news conference on Monday, Dr. Stacey Callum, director of Philadelphia Department of Public Health Division of Maternal, Child and Family Health, said the no strings attached is key. We are respecting the dignity and autonomy of program participants to use the funds as they see fit to improve their health and the health of their babies. The city's infant mortality rate is 1.5 higher than the national average, and black babies are over 4 times more likely to die before their first birthday than white babies. What the hell's got? Yeah, it's fucking wild, man. These Jake women be doing a complete madness. Says the scheme is inspired by offerings in other states. In Manitoba, in Canada, pregnant women can get up to $81 a month. Meanwhile, the Abundant Birth Project pilot in San Francisco provides $1,000 monthly to mothers-to-be for a year. The Philadelphia pilot program needs to reach its funding target of $6 million in order to begin in 2024. So yeah, there's other places doing it, and it's like these. The way I'm looking at these is like, it's essentially just like with the benefit system and whatnot. Going forward, they're trying to bind these things all in. So when there's a switch over to the other system, then it's more of the allure. That, and as well, it's like with what's going on with the banks, with the Silicon Valley Bank going kaput, and essentially people kind of looking at a lot of the banking sector like, okay, what's going down? What is this a stable? Is it basically 2008 all over again? Is this gonna last? Is them basically being, because with 2008 what happened is it was the government basically bailed out the banks, and they're like, okay, that to have security, then you need to have the government involved. That's in their mindset. So we'll see a lot of these things where it's basically down to, okay, trust in the government. The government will kind of take care of it. And I wouldn't be surprised. It's going into the the mortality rate. And yeah, you got Jake women doing a madness. Fucking hell. Philadelphia had the highest mortality rate. Yeah, that's wild. Dallas, Chicago. Yeah, that's kind of wild. But yeah, that's that's really where where it seems with these schemes where they're just dropping guap on families. That's really what I'll be thinking, man. So I read this, Isaiah 29:16. It says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as a potter's clay. Yeah, and that's the reason why the birth rate's low. The reason why these things are going out of course is because why? It's because everything's been flipped on its head. Esau's basically coming with a system where he's basically just said like, nah, the way you've been doing it, nah, it's all wrong. Throw that in the bin. We're gonna do it my way. We're gonna have women are walking around able to do whatever they desire, and that surprise, surprise, the family unit has basically been turned and it's ceased to exist. On a great scale. You have people where they're established on a certain level, or especially among migrants, like that first generation of migrants, where they'll still have those older values. But for the women born and growing up in these systems, they're thinking about social media, Instagram, being hot. That's what they're meditating on. For shall the work saith him that made it, he made me not. Or shall the thing framed saith him that framed it, he had no understanding. That's what Esau's trying to do. He's basically saying like, yo, it's all that you're doing, keeping women locked up, blah blah blah. No, throw that in the bin. You were wrong. But what's the end result? If it wasn't for the electric, there'll be no flesh left to be saved. But yeah, shalom.